Hello friends, I'm Swapna Shetty. In this video, we are going to learn about JSP directive and different types of directives and differentiate between include directive and include standard action. So basically a JSP directive provides the metadata information about the JSP file to the web container. It is a translation time instruction to the JSP engine. For example, importing tag libraries, importing required classes, and setting buffering options, and including content from another external files. So there are basically three directives: page, include, and taglib directive. Page directive, it provides information about the page, what type of language we are using, what content type we are mentioning, buffer size, etc. And include directive is used to include the content of other files into the current JSP file. Taglib directive is used to import custom tags defined in tag libraries. These custom tags are typically developed by the programmers. So a JSP directive is declared by the following syntax, like we have less than symbol, percentile, and at symbol, and the directive name, that is page, include, or taglib, and the attribute and the value, which is the name value pairs. So which represents the behavior to be set for that particular directive to act. For example, let us take a look at page directive. It basically provides the metadata information about the JSP page to the web container. It can be coded anywhere in a JSP page, but generally by industry standards, this page directive is generally coded at the top of the JSP page. A page can have number of page directives. So any attribute except the import attribute can be used only once in a JSP page. So in a single page directive, we can mention many attribute specified. So coming to the attributes is the description of the page directive. Like for us, suppose if I mention buffer attribute, it specifies the buffering model for the output stream. And auto flush attribute, it controls the behavior of the servlet output buffer. Content type used to mention the content type, whether it is an image file or a HTML or text file, whatever it is. And error page is a directive which is mentioned to which control has to be redirected in case of any exceptions. And is error page, which takes a boolean value and specified whether the current JSP page is an error page or not. And extends attribute is used to mention mention a superclass that the generated servlet must extend. And import is to import the Java packages. And info is, it defines a string that can be accessed with the servlet's servlet info method. And is thread safe, which defines the threading model. And language, which programming language we are using and all. And session, whether the current JSP page participates in HTTP sessions or not, and whether any expression language is used within the JSP page or not, which is ignored or not ignored. And is scripting element, which takes a boolean value, and if you set it to false, will throw an error during translation if my page contains any scripting elements like scriptlets, expressions, and so on. So include directive is used to include a HTML file or a JSP file into another JSP file at the translation time. And this include process is static. It means the text of the included file is added to the current JSP file, like copy pasting the contents. And the included file could be either JSP file or a text file or any HTML file. If the included page is a JSP page, it will be translated along with the main JSP page. So for every JSP page, 4 packages are by default available, like java.lang, java.servlet, java.servlet.http, javax.servlet.jsp. If we need any other package to be imported, we need to mention that package name using page directive and import attribute. attribute. So include mechanism, which including other JSPs into the current JSP inline is nothing but an include mechanism. It is meant for reusability of presentation code and avoiding duplication of same presentation code in multiple JSPs. So what is reusability of presentation code? Let's understand with an example. So in an application, consider that there are around 80 JSPs. So in which one .jsp is written something like this, where I have header code which is of some 40 lines and my main JSP code, and finally the footer code which is of, assume it is of 60 lines. Okay, so these two, that is header code and the footer code, are required for the rest of the 79 JSPs. Then these 100 lines must be duplicated in all the 80 JSPs. So this results in duplication of presentation code. This can be avoided by developing 82 JSPs with 81.jsp as header.jsp and 82.jsp as footer.jsps. Now if I have to include those, I can simply write the include directive, include 81.jsp and my content which is there in the 1.jsp, and then I can simply include 82.jsp. So these two can be written in the rest of the 79 pages. So hence duplication of presentation code is eliminated. So that is the reason include mechanism avoids duplication of same presentation code in multiple JSPs. So include mechanism is mainly implemented in two ways, using either include directive or include standard action. So before knowing the differences, let's know what are the similarities between both. Both are instructions to the container, both are used to avoid duplication of code, and both includes the other pages in line. So what are the differences is, the syntactically include directive uses file attribute, whereas include standard action, it represents in XML format like JSP :include, and the attribute is the page, it is not file. And the time of instruction, it is static for directive and dynamic for action. So what is this basically is, let's look at an example. For example, I have one.jsp in which I am using both include directive, which includes the header.jsp, and also include action tag, which also includes header.jsp. Okay, so when control reaches to one.jsp, then engine reads this total JSP, and when include directive is encountered, the source of header.jsp is copied copy pasted at the place of the directive, and now translation takes place. That is, engine reads the contents of header.jsp and these contents are copied into one.jsp and then translation happens. Therefore only one servlet, because only one translation, that is one.jsp, is only converted into servlet, but header.jsp is never converted into servlet. So control never comes to header.jsp, but JSP engine only reads its contents and its source code is included. In case of include action, whenever request comes to one.jsp, the control transfers to header.jsp as soon as the include standard action is encountered. So in the background, request dispatching takes place. That is, control is transferred to header.jsp and its response is added to response of one.jsp. So response of header.jsp implies its servlet has to be generated. So number of servlets produced in case of include action is 2, and number of servlets produced in case of directive is 1. The next difference is static. Time of instruction for include directive is static. So always remember that static mechanism has better performance when compared to dynamic mechanism. Dynamism gives flexibility, but it's poor in performance. So since directive is a static instruction, its performance is higher. When first time request comes for 1.jsp, the contents of header.jsp are included and translation into a servlet takes place. For the next n times, this translation is not done. So next n requests are processed faster and hence performance is high. Action is a dynamic instruction. Its performance is lower. Each time request comes, the control is switched from 1.jsp to header.jsp and response of header.jsp is added to 1.jsp. So what is included in directive is other page source code is included, but in action other page response is included. So number of servlets produced is 1 and 2 respectively. So performance of static is always higher when compared to action. Now if changes are made on loaded page, will they reflect on the current response? When using directive, it is not reflected, but when using action, it is reflected. So how is, let's suppose I have some 80 JSPs and all the 80 JSPs want to include the content of header.jsp. If directive is used to include header.jsp, when first time request comes for 1.jsp, all the process is done and response is sent. When second time request comes for 1.jsp, the request is processed and response is directly sent. But again, translation is not done. Hence, performance is not lost. This would be the case for the rest of the JSPs. So this would be true as long as JSPs are not modified. Now consider a case where header.jsp needs to be modified. That means the changes are made to the included page. After this modification, when request comes to 1.jsp directly, servicing phase is done. But again, translation is not done since 1.jsp is not modified. That is, unless 1.jsp is not modified, translation is not done once again. So modifications in included page do not reflect in current page. If 2.jsp is modified, the translation of this page is done again and the modifications done in header.jsp reflect in the response of 2.jsp. So this is the drawback in using include directive. But when include action is considered, any changes made to the header.jsp file will reflect to the current page response. So when to use directive and when to use action, it all depends. If performance is needed, go for include directive. This requires the pages should not be modified throughout. If pages need to be continually modified throughout the life of the application and these modifications should reflect, then we should go for include standard action, but at the cost of losing performance. Now let's take an example of how to include other pages into our current JSP page. In the same JSP samples, I create 3 JSP files called header.jsp, main.jsp and footer.jsp, and I try to add header.jsp and footer.jsp inside main.jsp. So first let me create header.jsp file. So in this, I simply write first the Java code to display the number of times the page has been visited. So for that, I require some declarations, namely int page count first. Initially it is 0, and one method which returns nothing, add count, which just increments the page count, and which returns nothing. And here I just display this is a declaration. Now I write in a Java code, I simply write add count method. That is, I simply call this method. Now in the body I just display like the include directive example, and I just display that the number of times the current page has been visited. That is the page is visited for I just simply write saying page count So this is my header.jsp in which I am just declaring one instance variable and one instant method and calling the method, and while displaying I am just displaying the page count. And next I write header.jsp, footer.jsp, footer.jsp. I just remove the whole content because we have to be very careful about the tags in HTML because we are including one JSP into another JSP. Another JSP has already got the tags open and closed. So we need to be very careful. In header.jsp, I need to remove this body and HTML closing tags because I need to add the other JSP's content as well. So I'm just removing this. In footer.jsp, I don't need again everything, so I just remove everything and say first in footer.jsp I just display something like paragraph like copyright symbol sum 2016, and then in the footer I can close the body and the HTML tags. So now let me write the main.jsp in which I just include all the header and footer pages. So for that I just write include percentile at include file equals to header.jsp and close. So in between I just write use center tag, and center I just print like this is my main JSP. And then include footer.jsp. That's all. So let me run this main.jsp file. So first, so this has to be achieved, this has to come first. So that is header has to be included first. So let me check what can be done. So in our header.jsp, we have returned the first line as the include directive example. So first line we got this, and next we have printed the page count. This site has been visited these many times, so that has been displayed. So it is displaying correctly that header is displayed first, and then the main.jsp, which is displaying just this is my main JSP, and then footer got displayed. So footer is just displaying copyright at 2016, and then the body and the HTML tags are closed. So we need to be very careful while including this open tags and the close tags when including other JSPs into the current JSPs. So that's all with the session. Thank you.